This is the waters in Ezekiel chapter 47, and it says, afterward he brought me again unto the door of the house, and behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house eastward, where the forefront of the house stood toward the east, and the waters came down from under the right side of the house and the south side of the altar. Then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the other gate by the way that looketh eastward. And behold, there ran out waters on the right side. And when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he brought me through the waters. The waters were to the ankles. Verse 4, again he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters. The waters were to the knees. Again he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters were to the loins. Afterward he measured 1,000, and there was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that I could not pass over. Now, that's verses 5. Now, what we're about to do is read it again, but now we're going to break it down. So, you see a river, right? And you see rivers issuing out. So let's start with verse 1. Afterward, he brought me again unto the door of the house, and behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house eastward, for the forefront of the house stood toward the east, and the waters came down from under the right side of the house and the south side of the altar. Verse 2, then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the other gate by the way that looketh eastward, and behold, there ran out waters on the right side. So, he's seeing water coming out. So, water is symbolic of this truth. Verse 3, it says, and when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and brought me through the waters. The waters were to the ankles. So the ankles, if you in a basement and it starts flooding, the water to the ankles, it's bad, but I mean it's manageable. Verse 4, again he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters, and the waters were to the knees. Now if you in there, it says the knees, that's progressing. It's getting up there. Verse 3, 4 again, and he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters, and the waters were to the knees. Again he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters were to the loins. Afterward he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that I could not pass over. So it became so much water that he couldn't swim. This is talking about a progression of the truth. You see, this truth is that water. And we're flooding the internet. We're the unicorn. And this line is going out day and night. Utter speech. When Elijah came on the scene as Abba Bivens, to fulfilling Malachi, the 4th chapter, which says, I will send Elijah the prophet for the coming dreadful day of Yahweh. When he came on the scene, that marked the end of that old silence spoken about in 2nd Ezra chapter 7, I want to say verse 30 and 31, that old silence. 7 days, which started from John the Revelator, when he gave his last prophecy, to Abba Bivens waking us up out of that sleep. We fell away. We suffered all the curses of Deuteronomy 28, and our dead bodies lied in the streets. Then we're risen and woken up. And that's when the water is starting to pour out, that truth. So it's coming out, it's at the ankles. It gets passed on to Ariyah, Masha, Yaikwab. They carry the torch. Then it gets passed on in the apostles. Apostles take it and run with it. 2006, 2007, YouTube explodes with this truth, and the line goes out. Now it's at the loins. Now we're doing 3 videos a day. It's become a river that you cannot pass over. This truth is everywhere. There was a time when there wasn't a camp in Detroit. There wasn't a camp in Chicago. There wasn't a camp. By a camp, I mean somebody going out constantly. There wasn't a camp in Dallas. There wasn't a camp in Baltimore. I'm talking about week in and week out. Now, every major city has a camp that's going in and week out. This truth is exploding. It's exploding on a level that when I came in this truth, you type in GMS, it was hard to find a GMS video. Now you type in GMS, you already know what time it is. You find the Israelite videos. And most I use a lot of avenues to push us. Even vocab. As much of a demon he is, he just helps to push this truth out even more. You can't do nothing against this truth at this point. It's the best kept secret. So they figure out if you can't keep the secret, we want to at least control how people receive it. But we want to be their first introduction to this Israelite stuff and tell them that it's fake. This is Matthew chapter 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So this word got to be preached out. It has to reach everybody. Israel is scattered through all the nations. The other nations, they got to understand why they're being judged and the judgment that's coming against them. Wasn't Pharaoh told, let my people go? He understood what was happening to him. He didn't just wake up and say, oh, damn, I'm just catching hell. No, Pharaoh understood why he was catching hell. These other nations, they got to figure out, they got to know why they're catching the hell. Psalms 83 talks about the crafty counsel that these other nations had against us. They devised wickedness and evil against the nation of Israel. They got to pay for that. But scripture says judgment must begin at the house of Israel. But this truth has to go out. And that's that flood that's going out. And this truth is condemning some people and it's saving some people. Everybody is not going to be receptive to this truth. There's some people going to hear this truth or that song and they're going to pipe and they'll dance. Some people will hear this truth. Oh, that's that white man's book. They have all type of excuses in the world why they don't believe it. That's why you're told, don't lament them. Don't cry over them. They hard-headed. They want to be here. No different than when the Israelites were coming out. Us Israelites were coming out of Egypt. You had some that wanted to go back. You brought us out here to die. You can take the nigga out of Egypt, but you can't take the Egypt out the nigga. And on this note, I want to hope this lesson has been edifying. I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to Elder GMS Ruel. Peace, salutations, and shalom.